Almost everybody has the mountain town fantasy. Coffee on the porch, ski in the winter, lake in the summer, no traffic, no noise, no neighbors you can hear through the wall. Basye, Virginia is a real place where a few thousand people are actually living that. So, is it a good place to live? Because the fantasy and the Tuesday afternoon are two totally different things. I'm Jason Oliver with Envision Real Estate Solutions. We buy, sell, renovate, and thoughtfully develop property across this entire region, which means I'm not selling you a postcard. We're in these houses and on this land every single week. And even if you never moved to Virginia, stay with me, because the trade Basye asks you to make is the same trade every small mountain town asks. Once you can see it clearly here, you'll see it anywhere. Quick orientation. Basye sits in western Shenandoah County, Virginia. It's about 2 hours west of Washington, D.C., an hour south of Winchester, 45 minutes north of Harrisonburg. It's unincorporated, there's no mayor, no town council, no stoplights. It's wrapped in the George Washington National Forest, and it grew up around Bryce Resort. The elevation buys you real seasons, so actual snow in the winter and a fall that people drive hours to come see. There are a few thousand people spread across these hollows, and the place swells on the winter weekends. So, if you're moving here for the outdoors, here's what's actually within reach. Wintertime. Bryce Resort is the anchor. It's a small mountain, roughly 8 trails, about 500 feet of vertical. So if you're picturing Colorado, adjust that. But honestly, that's the point. You're not planning a ski trip. You're skiing on a Tuesday after work, and you're home in about 15 minutes. There's tubing also, and the whole operation runs on snowmaking, which in Virginia is what makes a season possible at all. Okay, now for the warm months. Lake Laura is 45 acres with an actual beach. There's kayaks, paddleboards, swimming, fishing. There's an 18-hole golf course, mountain biking, and a zip line. The bigger backyard, and this is really the part that people underestimate, the National Forest starts at the edge of town. So, hiking really isn't a destination here, it's a decision that you make at 4 in the afternoon. Seven Bends State Park is also about a half hour away on the North Fork of the Shenandoah, where the river loops back on itself so many times they named the park after it. Passage Creek and Fort Valley sit over the next ridge. Skyline Drive and Shenandoah National Park are close enough for an ordinary Saturday. And Orkney Springs is a few minutes up the road where Shrine Mont puts on the Shenandoah Valley Music Festival. Outdoors, under the trees, and every summer. And that's the real pitch. Not that any single thing here is world class. It's that all of it's 15 minutes away, and none of it requires a plan. And then there's October. I should warn you about the fall, because people plan entire trips around this ridge in October. You would be living in the middle of it, which sounds sentimental until you're driven Route 263 on a clear morning in the middle of October. Now, for the everyday activities. Groceries and errands. There is no grocery store in Basye. All the real shopping is in Mount Jackson, which is about 15 minutes down the mountain. Or you have Woodstock for anything bigger, or Harrisonburg or Winchester is where you go when you need real selections of anything. You'll learn to need to buy in bulk. Healthcare. There is a hospital in Woodstock and larger ones in Winchester and Harrisonburg. Routine care is fine. Specialists means that you're driving. So if you're managing any chronic conditions, map that out before you fall in love with the view. If you have kids, Shenandoah County schools serve this area, and the buildings are down in the valley. So plan on a real bus ride. The upside is small classes and a community where the teachers know your kids' names. The downside is that after school, anything means that you're the transportation. Now for winter, the same snow that makes the skiing makes the driving. Mountain roads, they're steep, the driveways are steep. Ask for plows before you buy, not in January. Connectivity. Broadband has expanded across this region, but up here it's address by address. If you work remote, test the actual property and cell service drops in the hollows. That's just true. The rhythm. And the town breeze. Weekends and skiing season, it's extremely busy. A Wednesday in March, it's very quiet. Some people find that peaceful, some find it lonely. You should know which one that you are. All right, quick note before we go any further. A lot of people who watch this may end up buying land instead of a house because up here the lot is the whole decision. You have slope, access, soil, water, utilities. That's what separates a lot that you can build on from a lot that you'll be fighting for the next 2 years. We put all of it into a free Shenandoah Valley land value guide. Links in the description. So who actually does well here? People who bring their income with them. You have remote workers, retirees, or business owners, people whose weekends are already outside. If your Saturday is a trailhead or a boat ramp, you'll be happy here almost immediately. And people who like knowing their neighbors because you will, people who are genuinely fine with their own company. So who struggles? Anyone who needs a 3-day-a-week office commute, anyone who wants restaurants and options on a Wednesday night, and really anyone moving here to escape something rather than move towards something. You know, the mountain is really quiet, and quiet amplifies whatever you bring with you. So, is Basye a good place to live? Here's my honest answer. It's a case-by-case basis. Yes, if you're moving towards the outdoors and you've been honest with yourself about the drive. Or no, if you need convenience and you're hoping you'll just adjust. You won't. Basye isn't a compromise between city and country. It's actually a full commitment to country with a ski lift and a lake attached. That's a genuinely great life for the right person and a very long winter for the wrong one. If you're weighing this move, I'd like to help you weigh it honestly. We work with people making this exact decision all the time. Families leaving Northern Virginia, retirees, investors, and people who just want to know what living here really costs. No pressure, no obligation. There's a link below to book a discovery call and the free Shenandoah Valley Land Value Guide, or just give us a call or text me at 540-790-7940. And if this was useful, subscribe. We're working through this whole valley one town at a time. We'll talk soon.